There is this financial mistake that I see a lot of you people making out there. And often you guys don't even realize it. Whether you're making $50,000 a year or $1 million a year, it still has the power to keep people poor forever. Even the wealthy people are affected by it. So what is this mistake called? It's called lifestyle inflation. So I'm going to explain what this is through a concrete example. Okay, so starting out, so we have our little friend here who makes $30,000 a year, and from $30,000 he spends $25,000 on essential things, such as food, housing costs, car, gas, insurance, and etc. Things that he would need on a day-to-day basis. Now with the $5,000 left over, he would spend it on vacations, gifts, entertainment, and other things that are nice to have and experience, but are not required to sustain himself. So this is how our little friend here allocates his annual income. Since he doesn't have any money left over, he's unable to invest or save his money. As time goes by, he gets a paid and a promotion. So now he's making $45,000 a year. That's $15,000 extra annually. So now finally he will have extra money left over by the end of the month, which he could save and invest. So what does he do with his extra money? Since his income increase, so does his living expenses increase. Since he's making extra money now, he feels he deserves a better, fancier, expensive car, which he does decide to buy. Also now he could move into a bigger apartment, which means higher housing costs. And making more money, he's able to afford more exotic vacations. Now he could afford to eat regularly at fancy restaurants, or just use food delivery services. And by the end of the year, he breaks even again. He has no money left over, just like before. So this financial mistake is called lifestyle inflation. It usually happens when you start making more money, but you also end up spending more money. Instead of maintaining the same lifestyle, you had to upgrade. Things that were once luxuries actually become a necessity. Instead of saving and investing that extra money, now you need more money to maintain your life. And just like our little friend here, this is something a lot of people fall for. 78% of American workers are living paycheck to paycheck, and a lot of people don't have money saved up. At first, this might not seem like a big deal. People could choose to spend their money however they like. But when an emergency comes up, this could be extremely problematic. But what would happen if you get into a car accident, you become injured, or if you lose your job? Your living expenses stay the same, but you don't have the necessary income to cover all those expenses. So this is why you should keep your lifestyle the same. You should save and invest that money instead of spending it. But you're probably thinking to yourself that why don't you just make more money? You could keep the same lifestyle and save the rest. It is true that making more money, it will be a lot more easier to save money. But you also have to understand that not a lot of rich people are safe from lifestyle inflation. You could take this for an example. Many athletes file for bankruptcy after they retire, whether it be a soccer player, a football player, or NBA player. A lot of them suffer through financial stress. Yes, I know they were making millions and they were saving a lot of money, but because they kept the same luxurious lifestyle after the income stopped coming in, they ended up broke. Higher income does not necessarily mean financial security, but good financial habits too. And another example would be the lottery winners. After they receive that massive amount of money, after a few years they end up right back where they started. Instead of controlling your spending decisions and being financially set, you end up making bad decisions and you end up going broke. What's the point of making $1 million a year when your lifestyle requires you to spend that $1 million? Being rich is not about how much money you make, but how much money you get to keep at the end. And also, don't fall into society's illusion of wealth. Some people might seem wealthy because they spend so much money trying to look rich. Just because they spend $5,000 on clothes and drive a fancy sports car does not necessarily mean they're wealthy. A lot of these people are struggling financially and they spend their money on expensive brands. But that's just the society that we're living in right now. We put a lot of value on things so that we can show other people. So it's not completely your fault if you fall for the lifestyle inflation. Your lifestyle habits come from your friends and social media. And if you look around, a lot of people are living an extravagant lifestyle. So some of you might feel like you're expected to do so well since it's normal, because everybody else is doing it. But you gotta remember, normal in this case means being broke and living paycheck to paycheck. What can we do about lifestyle inflation? I say knowing about it and acknowledging it is half the battle. If you know this is something that could happen to you, then you could probably spot it before it does. And now the other half is self-discipline. Before you spend any money on anything, you should sleep on the decision and ask yourself if this is going to improve your life in any way. And I tell you to do this because we make a lot of our buying decision mindlessly. Do we really need a new iPhone every single year? What is wrong with the current phone that you have right now? And do you really need that $600 watch just because you could afford it? What's wrong with the $60 one? They both show the same time. You should stop wasting your money on things you don't need. They don't bring you any long-term benefits just because you have spare money right now. So whenever your income and salary increases, so should the amount of money you save and invest. Your income is never guaranteed. That's why it's necessary to live within your means, while putting money away for a rainy day. Now, I'm not saying you should only save money. I see there is no point saving every single penny, while living a completely miserable life. Instead, I'm only recommending that you should live within your means when your income increases. Meaning you keep a similar lifestyle. But don't get me wrong here, if you think you deserve a new car, then go ahead and go for it. I'm not telling you how to spend your money. I'm just letting you know the financial mistakes that the majority of us make. So I appreciate you guys watching all the way to the end if you made it this far. Please feel free to like and subscribe. And also share my content to anybody who you think it will help them out. And once again, thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys later.